Oh,
Okay. So let me know if you're ready.
Or he has to turn them on, which he didn't really turn them on.
I have three now.
Yeah,
I have kind of a greenish beigeish light.
but they're not on. You know what it is.
Right here.
Brady, are you turning these mics off on the button too?
Yeah, I could, oh, no, do you want me to, I don't have them on, I forgot.
I just told Gina to put them on, I'll show you put them on.
Oh, it's, yeah, I'm gonna have to, so just plug that in. You're gonna have to get on a ladder and stuff, 'cause it's just, unless I leave it on overnight, you can turn all three of those on, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay.
But
A lot of buttons.
I'm gonna have to get you some stuff, we put it up there so no one would hit it with their head, but.
Okay, yes, that's cool.
These, okay.
I'm so happy to get these.
There we go.
Oh, yeah.
We're just holding
This
to
press,
it.
this press will turn green and off, the little button. Hold till it turns green.
Are these
And
new?
then let off. Let's see, is it not turning on?
Oh, they're wireless.
Yeah. It's
Yeah, there you go, you're
I've
green,
been
you're good.
trying to get these since I started.
Yeah, you're good.
Brady was like, I don't see it work, but they
They're,
have to
they're
work.
really
I
good
see.
ones.
Yeah.
And
very
they're,
fancy.
yeah,
Testing,
but
testing.
they can hear now, and they don't hum, and they won't pick up cell phones.
That's great.
Nice.
Well, so welcome to the emergency preparedness meeting, and it's the 8th of November, 8th of September. And we are ready to start. Thank you so much for coming, guys. Okay, I guess we have had a guest speaker. First of all, do we have a quorum, Kim?
Yes, you have
Thank
to.
you so much.
Absent is, member callers. I didn't hear from him that he wasn't gonna show. So technically, just FYI, that's an unexcused absence unless
Okay.
somebody else has heard from
Randy.
him. Randy.
Oh, no, he told me he wouldn't be here.
Okay, so,
Yeah.
all right, so we got an excused absence and, Deb still hasn't signed on.
Yeah, he told me before the meeting last time
Okay.
that he would not be here. And I thought that I just said Randy wouldn't be here, but maybe I should have made that more clear. He's all involved with the Kite Festival.
That's fine. I have, yeah, we just need to know whether it's excused or unexcused.
They're, yeah, very much excused, absolutely. And so, any changes to the consent agenda, anything we need to change or?
We got the minutes after the agenda went out. I did not modify it. We'll just put the minutes on
Okay.
next.
Sounds good. And so our guest presentation with Michael Dane, emergency operations manager, will not happen because he's sick today. We hope he gets to feeling better. So that was part of our agenda that we'll just go on to communication, members and announcements. And so, who has comments? Karen?
I have something, a friend of mine, donated to us, I have a couple bankers boxes full of binders that we can use to make our open meeters binders, or maybe first aid or something, and they're all red. And there's
Nice.
some, pretty big, thick ones and some that are smaller.
That'd
So
be nice.
whatever we can't use, maybe the city can use.
Yeah, if you want, we talked about you bringing them to me and I'll be happy to.
Yes, sheet protectors, a whole box full of.
That's
sheet
fabulous,
protectors.
that's really good. Because, I'd like to put the protocols and
Okay.
the different containers that we have as we go forward, that's wonderful. Okay, anything else, Karen? Okay, how about you? Nothing, okay. The only thing that I have is, that's Michael Dane. So this is something.
Deb has joined us.
Hi, Deb. Hi, Jean. And so, this is something that, I think everybody got a copy of. It's from it came from, the county as well as the, Council of Governments. Is about being informed and ready emergency preparedness training. And it's going to be on September the 26th at 2 o'clock across from the hospital in Newport. And I'm going to go, talking about senior disability services and who should attend agencies, aid caregivers, emergency personnel, emergency preparedness teams, and what have you. So I registered for that. So I think I mentioned it to you, weren't sure that you could go.
I thought you were talking about the other, with the county, not the,
I think this
not
is,
the rec center.
That's not the same one, yeah, that's
Yeah.
different.
But
The
I'd
one,
like to get some information on that.
okay, sounds good.
Gina is also signed up to attend that,
Wonderful, that sounds really good.
to take notes for on behalf of the city.
Thank you. I'm glad to know that Jude's gonna go. And let me just make sure that's all I have for that. And, I don't really have anything else for any comments. We just have a lot going on that became part of the agenda. And so, let's see. I do have a question for Brady. You had talked about getting water purification tablets. Is that something that you need to order, or should I?
I don't recall tap.
Well, I know it's a tablet, but it's just it's sodium chloride, I think.
Chlorine.
Chlorine, okay.
So, yeah, it is. Sodium hypochlorite is what it is. That's for barrels. You can drop these, but yeah. You can purchase those on, Amazon. Sodium hypochlorite, what it is chlorination that, you have to be very precise with it. Like, I think it's 1 tablet to 50 gallons or something. For a barrel, they're made for barrels, but, because it's chlorine, you have to be very
Okay,
careful with it and then test it for, so if you get the tablets, we should probably get a test kit too. And they have them with just strips, or almost, you can just dunk these strips in and they're non-toxic. And it checks the chlorine residual of the water, so it's not too strong and it won't.
okay,
Because
so,
we don't wanna make anybody sick.
is that something that I can order?
I can take a note and maybe look up, make sure we get the right stuff and the
Okay.
correct test strips. So we need a chlorination tablets and then, so CL2 tablets and then, yeah, I wasn't aware of that. I don't know if I mentioned it in the past or not, or,
I think I mentioned it to you one time,
So-
I went to
oh,
a emergency preparedness where they talked
Right.
about that would be
So-
something I thought we might be able
because
to use.
I'll tell you, the fire department just puts like a couple capfuls or one capful in the barrel, so it's, and it does dissipate.
And
So-
they replace it like every 5 years. a lot.
Yeah, exactly, they rotate it out, yeah. But, it's, we can't just use household, it's the same thing.
Mhm.
So, but the tablets may be easier to dose, say during an event or something like that, you don't have to worry about measuring or anything.
Okay.
So maybe I'll look into the test strips and but it is a good idea to maybe test the water too for chlorine residual.
Okay, that sounds good.
Okay,
And then I think you were gonna get some lime for us.
yeah, but we have lime. Now lime is used, for, disinfecting wastewater, sewer, and stuff that's dead and contains maybe E. coli, and what it does is it's so if you walk through it or you get it on your hands, it won't hurt you like other chemicals will. That's
Okay,
why
good.
lime is recommended by DEQ.
So we had talked about that for the work area.
Yes, and it eliminates odor, and it's what is standard in the industry.
Mhm.
But it's powdered lime, it's the same lime that you see on football fields when they make lines in the, it's a very common product for grass and lawn and gardens, but it is in a full strength form in the powders. It's used for disinfection.
Wonderful, thank you so much,
But
Brady.
we do have a bag of that. It would have to be maybe sealed in a bucket, or maybe something can seal the bag of lime. Like say if we were gonna store it in a cache, I would recommend putting it in a bucket with a seal, like maybe with a desiccant on top of it, so it doesn't get moisture, and then put that in a sealed bucket with a good sealed lid. So you need a 5-gallon bucket with a sealing lid, and then we have packs of that desiccant in the basement, so we already have a lot of those.
Okay, good, wonderful, thank you. Okay, so I think that's all for comments, and thank you for answering my questions, Brady, I appreciate it.
Sure.
And so, old business would be Stonebridge update, and the county's provided this wonderful flyer, it's great, from evidently our, city engineer. Kim, can you give us an update of
Here's
what's
what he's,
happening?
yeah, here's what he says, and I just got this afternoon. Without any significant grading or clearing work, we can fit one 24-foot long cash container. Wow. If we clear some vegetation and push the gravel out to the east, we think we could fit two side-by-side 24 containers,
Wow.
as he shows there. Note, we are showing approximate limits of the usable area from John's site measurements on 829. We would need a formal survey to provide a detailed site plan with accurate, extensive clearing and grading.
That's fabulous, Kim, thank you. And so, how's the MOU coming along, is that?
We couldn't move forward to the MOU until we saw exactly what we wanna put there. And I don't know whether or not they'll want the two 24-foot containers there, how much space they wanna use on that, but it's really, what do you guys wanna do? Do you wanna shoot for the 224? Do you wanna shoot for the one? The type of package we were doing was assuming, 140-foot, well, it was assuming for 150 people, it was two 40-foot connexes. We're obviously not gonna get the 244, what we're essentially getting is one 44-foot, 48 feet, or 248, we're getting a 48-foot.
Right.
So they're saying that packet, that takes care of about 100 people, 125 people. So-
Well, we had talked about the shortage of places to put a cache, and that's a good location, so I'm thinking we should go for the two 24-foot. That would be my opinion, how about you?
I agree.
Kathy, do you have?
Absolutely.
Deb, do you have any opinion? Okay, she's stuck since the thumbs up. Yeah, because it looks like Stonebridge area is gonna be probably the main place, or one of them, to get supplies, so that would be our recommendation. Do I need to talk to city council about it?
No, what I need to do is, and it's gonna come out of your money, is I need to have them go ahead and do the full site plan and survey before we go to the Stonebridge.
Perfect, thank you for all your hard work on that. I
They'll know
appreciate
what
it.
they're working from and just how much space it will require.
Alrighty. And so winterizing city caches, Brady now has material to do that. And I believe he's going to have a painter come in to do that, which will be helpful. It'd be good to, you think you could get it done by the 19th of September?
Getting the roofs coated, yeah. Yeah, if we get some sunny weather, we have the product now, I just need to get some of the material to apply the product, like at Harbor Freight. I just need to get, maybe tomorrow or the next day I can get that out.
Okay,
I'll pick up buckets too with lids for that line while I'm there.
okay, that sounds really good.
Yeah,
Thank
but,
you.
so if we get a sunny day and maybe this week, or I know it's supposed to rain and then have a little bit of dry weather, so maybe we can get, Gayton and or Brian to do.
That would be super, and so it'd be nice to have it done before the 19th,
Yeah.
when we split everything.
Right.
If that doesn't happen, can you still put the coating on with
Yeah,
all of the supplies?
I think what we'll do first is power wash the roofs first, let that, we can do that when it's raining, and then when that dries, it'll adhere a lot better.
Okay,
So it's kind of a two-part thing.
that's wonderful, thank you, Brad, I appreciate it. And so we're going to number C, cash organizations, which will be the 19th of September at 9:30. And one thing to tell you guys, when Kathy and I went to the Big Five camping supplies, we got sleeping bags, we got blankets, and we have a list of all those, like hundreds of this and hundreds of that. So we spent quite a bit of time putting them in airtight bags, so we wouldn't get any moisture. We didn't label them. And so there's no way for us to now split them between this cache and the one at the storage unit. So my suggestion would be just to duplicate it, so we have like X number of sleeping bags and blankets and things in these big white bags. And let's just order the same thing for the other cache. Would y'all agree to that?
That makes sense.
Yeah, it does. We didn't think of labeling it because we just didn't think that far. But now that we want to have the same thing in each class, just leave it the way it is. there should be room for that and the other stuff that we have. So what are your thoughts, Kathy?
Oh, I totally agree.
Okay. And when we start at 9:30, I'm thinking this is going to take more than one day.
So what are we splitting out if we're gonna be
Well,
duplicating?
we have, all, the lighting, the medical stuff, just all everything that's in these two caches and in that cache over the storage unit, we're gonna have to somehow split what it is. Some things we're gonna have to open and retape. And then I like to put them in the buckets, the black and yellow buckets that we have, and start the protocols, and we have the duct tape in order to do that. So it's
So
just,
what are you duplicating?
we're going to have the same thing in the cache, the
Right,
storage unit.
but you just
in
said
here.
you wanted to duplicate everything that we have here.
I'm sorry?
I'm confused.
So like sleeping bags, and what else did you say are in those sealed up bags that you put everything in? What's
Well,
all
I
the
have a
contents?
whole list of like food and life straws and things like that, all the supplies that we've been getting in the last few months.
I'm gonna make just one suggestion here, is that we can't really plan any of this right here until we get in there and see what it is.
Mhm.
So let's just
Well,
Right.
that's the first thing we have to do,
Yeah, just-
obviously.
go in and look at everything, see what we have,
Mhm.
and then we'll go from there.
Well, that's why I'm thinking it's gonna take more than one day.
Yeah, so I think that's our first step.
Yeah, exactly.
See
Because
what we have.
we can't split anything until we know for
Right.
sure. And
But what are
then,
you duplicating? Because now you're saying splitting it all.
well, you have certain things over here in that cache, certain things over here. It would be nice to have the same thing in both caches.
Right.
And so what we have over the storage unit, we don't have it in this unit. Well, we have the cache over here, we don't have the same thing in the storage unit.
Okay, all right.
That makes sense?
Yeah,
So you have a list of what's inside the sealed up
Yeah.
bags.
Mhm. Mhm.
yeah.
So you,
Yeah, so
And
that
the
was
sealed up bags are clear,
mhm.
and you can tell that they're sleeping bags.
Okay.
So we just need to look at it and figure it
Yeah.
out. And I think it'll take more than one day for sure, because Deb, we're gonna rely on you to organize this, because you're really good at that. Yeah, we're putting you in, we're putting you in charge. No.
Sure.
No, well, you're better than I am at it, so, you know.
Easy to say since I'm not sitting right there. I get it.
That's right. So we have elected you to
Yeah,
be the
right.
chief of that. Thanks, Deb. Okay. And so it'll be 9:30, and we'll just try to see what we've got and go from there. And then there's also some supplies that Kathy and I have been talking about that we don't have sufficient lighting, and there's other things that we've talked about that we still need to order. And so Kathy and I, we're gonna get together and look at those, because I know what we have in both of the caches, and then I know what we still need. And so Kathy and I are gonna work on that at a later time. And then we also have Valerie's stuff. Then she gave us, I have like, I think 4 or 5 containers, like these things like that in my garage, that we can use some of that stuff. So that's another element to it. So it's gonna be really interesting, so. Really interesting, okay. And, so Brady, do you have information about the culvert you had talked about getting us a quote when we saw you next time?
so we purchased culverts, they're stored down at the wastewater. There's some stored at water. I think we purchased 4 of them, and I think there's 2 and 2.
Do you think 4 is enough of what we need?
Well, they were gonna use them to try to, at some point, if we needed to get across the creek, is what they were purchased for.
Mhm.
Yeah, I suppose, it's really difficult to say at what point and what event, and if something is, I mean, it's really hard to say. It would probably be, you'd have to have equipment to backfill around the culverts after they're set into position, so. It was kind of an idea that somebody had quite a few years ago to
Mhm.
purchase culverts, but we keep them anyway for other projects too, so. We keep plenty of gravel and whatnot, but you know, the footbridge would probably, I mean, if the footbridge goes away and it's flooded and it might, you know, it's hard to say, really. You
Yeah,
can't just say that they're there and if this happens, we can put it in, because the scenarios are all over the board.
Yeah,
What could
because we would
happen?
have to be like, how are we gonna get them
I mean, if
from water, wastewater, if there are water,
If
we're not
it's
gonna
a,
get across. And then the whole idea of the culverts is not the only solution, because like you said, you gotta set them in place, then you gotta put backfill around, and I don't know that anybody's gonna have time to deal with that. So, but it, like you said, it is
well, we purchased.
very, because somebody really wanted them, and I know that it was a big thing after we started, but were they really necessary or an item that was thinking it would be a good idea without the realities? Like, I don't know whether anybody would actually have recommended that we do this.
Well, we talked about it like when we first had any type of budget for this committee, and we were running out of room to purchase something, and Brady said we can purchase culverts, and then they have the gravel, and that would be to make a car accessible if you stem the water going between, both sides.
right, that was actually on a list from a long time ago,
Okay.
from one of these meetings where we had years and years ago. And I think it got read, I was asked about it, and I remembered that that's what they were for, and they said, well, let's get those, and we ended up getting it.
That's what I remember, because I came on board shortly when all this was being discussed, and that's what I remember, that somebody wanted them. Thought it was a good idea, Brady, can we get it done? Brady said, of course we can, but there was no real thought given to what it really means to have them not down there, they're not down there.
Well, yeah, well, I don't.
They're up here or over there, they would have to be hauled, then there would have to be hauling the gravel. And I'm sorry, people dealing with an emergency, hauling culverts and gravel is going to be not.
Yeah, I think that's a long term, say several weeks into say if
Right,
there's an event
maybe.
and there's rebuilding and stuff like that, and
Right.
you know,
And
that's when.
that would be fine to do it when we could.
Certainly not something within the first 2 weeks response.
Yeah.
But at least it's an idea.
But he has them, so it's not, I don't think we need more.
Okay, that sounds good. I
In
wasn't sure.
fact, I was going to ask why we were putting the purchase of new culverts on there when I knew we already had some that was more than adequate to do what we needed to do.
Okay,
So,
I guess I misunderstood Brady saying that he was gonna give a quote for a couple more, but I might have
no,
misunderstood.
we had 4, you said, right?
Yeah, we had
That
4.
should be enough to do what we need
Well, let's
to
put
do.
the culverts to bed.
Put them to
Okay,
bed.
put the culverts to bed, thank you.
Okay.
Okay, so the 11th of October, so I gave everybody an agenda. I have, we've got some really good people coming.
Oh, yeah.
We've got, legal, medical, Samantha Buckley and Marlene are going to get together so they don't duplicate what they're doing. Insurance, the only thing that I have not gotten down for sure is the Red Cross. When I was in, Walport, I talked to a Red Cross guy who said that he comes to Depoe Bay. He hasn't returned my call. So I keep trying to reach him, but I'm gonna try another avenue. But right now.
Is that
I don't-
Rick Booth?
No,
Did we used to have, didn't he live in Little Cove or something, or
No,
Red
he's in
Cross?
Walport.
no,
He's a
it's,
Red Cross.
it's a different name,
Oh, okay,
but I might get that number from you.
okay.
Yeah, this is a guy who's very familiar with us, he knew about the yellow, emergency barrels and things like that. This guy just hasn't called back, so. And then Kathy, tell him that's your idea that you told me today about.
Oh,
having
yeah, I
another-
was dropping off the flyers and Margaret at the bank said she might like to be there as well to your information on what to do with your banking.
I think that's a wonderful idea.
But she has to look at her schedule and.
Yeah, that's good, I never thought of that. So this is an Ask the Expert, and so that would be, that would be really helpful.
Yeah.
So I gave you guys kind of a little agenda, and Brady, if you don't mind, talking about water in general, and
No,
that would be terrific, thank
So-
you.
one time we had the radio guys there, I don't know if they're gonna be at this one. Michael mentioned that he couldn't make it today, but he told me, let me know in October. there's, he'd be available too, hopefully.
To talk
Yeah.
about,
Radio stuff, maybe they could be there. I mean, one year when I think Jenny Damaris was speaking and we had the radio guys
Uh-huh.
there, people enjoyed that.
okay, well, that's a good idea, Brady,
So
yeah.
maybe they could have a table or something.
And so Michael, Patrick Gans is not sure if he'll be able to come, but he thought someone would be able to. And I wasn't sure if we wanted to do this from 10 to 1 or 10 to 2, or just kind of leave it open.
I think 10 to 2 is a good time, and if we leave or done early, then we're early.
More hot dogs.
Yeah,
Right, are we serving,
just hot dogs.
oh, not the, emergency, just that
No,
water?
samples, no.
That was funny when we did that.
Yeah, people really
Then
enjoy
we had
it.
beef stroganoff and something else.
Yeah, when I was in
Mac and cheese.
Mac and cheese, just add water.
When I was in Walport, they had that, they had samples of
Samples
food.
of
Yeah,
the freeze
it was
dried
really
food.
good, yeah, it's really good.
Yeah,
Okay.
it was okay.
Yeah.
So, anyway, this is just kind of an agenda, I'm sure it'll change, but at least it's something down on paper that we can go by. And when I talked to, Samantha Buckley, and actually, got an email from her, and she asked if we had prepared questions for her, and we don't, should we? And if so, what would they be?
Questions would we ask?
Well, she's gonna be talking about the sirens and how we don't need sirens and evacuations. I think that Marlene's gonna talk about what the state has in mind for evacuations and stuff. So should I just come up with some questions?
Yeah, just a few questions about how the county is coordinating this, within Lincoln County, and how we're all working together on it as a project, and how they will be leading, as they did through the fires and as they did through the power outage as well. They would be leading, so they have to assume the leadership position, and I'm sure, there's lots of questions that
Okay,
I want to outline.
so those are good. Anything else that I can?
If I might, one of the things you could do is you could reach out to the HOA contacts and ask them if they have, maybe they can poll their members and see if their members have any questions they would like to have answered about emergency response.
That's a very good idea. I like that. I'll give her a list of questions. I just told her I didn't have any, but we were having our meeting and I felt sure that we'd have some for her.
Because we have to work through her to get anything from the state or anything else, and so she's the primary person
Exactly.
that will be working all this through for her.
So I got, when we had the little mini tsunami, I got several calls from different people. What do you know? What do you know? What do you know? And I said, you have to wait to hear from Samantha Buckley. I don't know anything. Nobody's called me. Haven't heard from anybody. And the first contact will be the county, but people, once again, don't know this, so that would be good to just
Yeah, to reiterate,
reiterate.
they're our prime source of help.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
you might have Sam explain that, so they didn't immediately send out any notices because it was a watch.
Exactly.
So she needs to explain what their policy and procedures about when they send notices.
Yeah.
Because, I didn't send a notice because I was waiting for Lincoln County, who is the be all and all of
Exactly.
notices.
Yeah.
And I knew it was just a watch, but by the time that Sam sent a notice out, it was old news.
Yeah, it's done.
And I don't know if she took any hit from being late, except I heard people say Lincoln County wasn't even fast on it. So I think she needs to understand, and we need to understand what that response will look like, so we can make decisions and saying, well, okay, county, it's a watch, but do we wanna send anything out? So.
And that would
So
be
I am
good.
not sending anything about the harbor. I can guarantee you after that kerfuffle, I'm not sending anything about the harbor. So.
We
It's
could
really
share,
pretty
we
good.
could share different apps that people wanna get on their own to
You
get
can share different apps,
notifications
how do you get
from
informed?
from the
There
tsunami.
was
people,
radio, all
everything,
these different
all
things,
of
right.
them.
I don't know if you noticed, but Lincoln County Sheriff's recently put out that they're using September as National Preparedness Month. And their theme is preparedness begins at home.
Right, right.
That is a
That's
message we
perfect,
should
yeah.
be sending.
Well, that's what we've been trying to preach, for a long time, so
That's a
that's
good
good.
tagline.
And so, Samantha wanted to know if any of our guests would like to speak, and I said, I'm sure they would. I know that, the CERT would like to speak, and I know the insurance person would like to speak. And, I don't think the medical person would, but I'll double check. So anybody that's going to speak, she would like a copy of the speech or information sent to her by email so she can load it in her computer. So I need to call everyone or email them to let them
I thought
know.
the whole idea was for everybody to speak, ask the experts.
Well, I'm not,
Otherwise, they're sitting at a table and they may get asked questions, but these are things that everybody needs to know.
I'm not sure the attorney will, but I can ask him. Because he was in Waldport and he just had a well, they had no speakers actually
Right.
in Waldport. I'll find out. Okay. And so you asked about supplies, Kim, microphone, for sure.
We'll take care of all that logistic, Brady will make sure we have the microphones and everything down there.
Yeah,
And then-
for the event.
And, then I will have the pens and pencils and things like that. And I'll have a basket for the door prizes.
And we have a bunch of raffle tickets, so nobody buy any more raffle tickets.
Okay.
We have plenty of rolls right now. I had Jeannie, who had helped us before, I had to reorganize everything down there. We got it messy down there, so she, a bunch of raffle tickets. So I think we're set for raffle
What time do you want us there to set up?
It starts at 10, so I would say 9-ish, probably.
If you have an idea of what floor plan you want for the tables and chairs, let me and Brady know, and we'll get the guys to go move those, haul those around. You guys shouldn't have to do it.
Well, I'll have to-
Do it.
Have to make sure I know how many people are coming and what have you, but yeah.
And if I can't get the animal care to do it, I will do the presentation.
If it takes what?
The animal, I can do the animal one, I'll do that.
Okay.
Have we blocked off the day before?
I don't
As we
know.
set up, I'll go find out, because that would be helpful to have the crew set up the day before the tables and all that.
Yeah, because the city changed, you can't get in there before 10 because we're meeting.
Oh.
Is Kathy going? No, is she coming right back?
Yeah, she's gonna check and see if the day before the event's
Okay.
going on.
Just looking at the calendar.
Sounds good. So another thing, Deb will have the yellow barrel there. Would you like to talk about the yellow barrels, the emergency barrels? And Deb, at the event.
Now I know.
We'll
Yeah,
have
sure,
another-
sure. Yeah, absolutely. We can, right, we can do that. It'll be there. Yeah, we can have the same display we put up every time with the picture of what's inside. And yeah, I'm happy to talk about it.
I thought we would do that probably at the end,
Okay.
all the speakers and things like that.
So we'll have guys.
So then that means we need to have what is that, the community center? So there's already one there. So that's not a problem.
Yeah.
Great.
Oh, right, right.
I think that's the
Answer.
Yeah.
it belongs to the community centers.
Yeah.
It's booked.
We never put it on here. The event's on the 11th.
I know.
Nope, never got on there, you guys.
What happened? Somebody else booked the 11th?
Yeah, somebody else sure did.
Who is it?
That can be removed. Okay.
Well,
So can we go to the next weekend, the 18th?
can we ask them if they can,
I don't like to do that.
okay,
No, we can't.
okay,
We have no
We've got to
process.
call all these people.
okay, that's fine. Well, we'll just have to change the flyer and change everything. I'm sorry, I didn't know that I needed to write it down for some reason. So is
Joyce?
the,
Joyce, it may not matter. I can't be there on the 18th, but I don't have to be there, but I can't be there on the 18th.
okay, okay. Can I just look at the calendar?
Do you wanna move it up to the 4th?
Let's see, sure. But I'm gonna have to check with all the guests and.
Yeah.
And things like that. Okay, that's too bad. So, we'll try to do it for October the 4th. Are you available then, Deb?
No, I'm only available in the month of October on the 11th.
Okay, October the 4th. So let me check with all the speakers and see if that day will work. If not, we'll have to move it to November, it looks like. So can I put in, should I pencil it in or,
Oh, absolutely.
but should pencil or is it pen okay?
Just pencil it in, but you can, yeah, pencil it in.
Yeah, pen's fine.
Put it in for the 3rd, also is,
Yes. Wow, glad you went and looked.
I know.
Yeah.
Alrighty, sounds good, thank you. So I'll check with the speakers and I'll
are
get,
you available on the 4th?
okay, and I'll get with everyone to see if that's gonna work for everybody. So, we have all those to-go bags for sale, can we still bring them out and have people purchase them if they want to? We had talked about getting to-go bags, because people will be taught how to make their own, but we have a lot of to-go bags that we ordered that,
I haven't ordered any go bags.
I did.
You ordered any go bags?
I did.
I don't recall the bags being ordered.
Well, there's
the items
like-
that in them were ordered.
There's, quite a few to-go bags that we ordered and we did receive them. And, I thought that I mentioned this in the meeting because Kathy and I came up with the.
I
idea.
remember it being discussed.
It was discussed and I remember
Yeah.
ordering the items that were
So
in
we-
the bags. but
Okay.
So we do have them. Is that the place to sell them?
You can, I mean, it doesn't matter, except we'll have to have a way to collect the money. There will be no credit cards, because we won't have that ability there. But yeah, if you wanna sell them,
So we would sell them for the invoice amount, which does not include the shipping charge, I guess.
it's up to you what you sell them
I
for.
think,
It's whatever I don't know what it costs to put those together. Normally you do either the cost of them or whatever, if you sell them for under what it costs to make them, it'll come out of the budget.
mhm.
So if it costs 20 to make them and you sell it for 15, then you're in the hole for $5.
Well, I would like to have the invoice and say this particular to-go bag was $50 and it's $50. That's what you pay us.
And round it to an even dollar amount, so you're not messing with a bunch of
Yeah,
change.
well, Gina's gonna have to see what it costs to do each of those items, and then we're gonna need to know what it costs to do the
Well, I
bag.
have that information too.
Okay, then if you just wanna figure out what you want it to be.
And we have those pet to go thingies too.
That we have dog
Something
to-go
to sell.
bags and
Do you
things
wanna
like
sell
that.
those too? Joyce, do you wanna sell those too?
Yeah,
Okay.
I think so, yeah, that was I was trying to, think of a way to spend our money that we had left, and that just seemed like a logical idea. We had, I think, talked about it, so I'll work on that. And then you talked about, supplies and door prices, Kim, what do you have in mind for that?
Just the usual stuff, unless you guys have anything else you wanna do.
Well, just, we have pretty good budget, maybe we could have some nicer things.
Well, what's a nicer thing?
One of these to-go bags, a couple of to-go bags.
Well, yeah, I always have at least one go bag.
Okay, maybe we can have 3 or 4.
If you're going to sell them, why would you wanna let your go bags compete as giveaways?
Okay. We'll just have the usual stuff then.
I'll come up with some nicer
Okay,
stuff.
that sounds good. So advertising and signage, I guess we'll have to change these, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Change these.
That's easy, that's poor Kathy who's been passing them out.
I'll just get them all back.
Okay,
Now, let's say we're eminent domain.
There we go.
And, let's see. And Kathy, you had talked about, talking to the Yahat's communities and the Lincoln County
Right,
Leader.
yeah.
Can you do that again?
Yep, I got all of them.
Okay. And so as far as a recap, we're all the way down to recap, under new business. It was just it was a nice event. They had a lot more people there, at their fair than they did last year, and they just had tables. They had no speakers. It was well received. They had, Samantha was there, Red Cross was there, that attorney was there, different people were there, and so it was well received. And then I attended this, summit that the Glen Eden, put together, and it was not just Glen Eden, they're trying to get the HOAs in the area involved and come up with ideas. You know, you do this, I do this, we learn from each other. And I think they're gonna have another one, and, I think they're gonna have another one in December. I think it was worthwhile, we're all trying to help each other with all this. So that's really all that I have. Any other comments from the council? Okay, and, public comments, any public comments? Okay, hearing none, we have our next meeting will be the, looks like the 13th, our stated meeting of October, and I'll change the date and see if our, people can come on the 4th.
Alrighty.
Okay, is that it? That was a short meeting, we covered a lot, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye, Deb. Bye, sweetie.